I'm already getting the image of purple. The color purple could be significant. Someone could be wearing purple, like the color purple. Also, the purple seemed to turn to like a burgundy red, so that could be significant. But then I also saw the depicted image of what people call the devil. Okay, it's like the purple, which is like represents our intuition, our psychic ability, um, connection to the divine. Okay, but it's like it changed. It went to like a burgundy, then like a red, and then it was like a fiery, and then it's almost like the depicted image of the devil. Which my personal view, you don't have to agree, but there is there is no devil. It's a representation of things that can be devilish. Anything not done in moderation is devilish. Overindulgent, did I say that right? Indulgent? Overindulgent is devilish because we are human. We are here to experience. We're here to learn. We're going to experience. We are that's who we are. That's what this life is for the experience, for the learning lessons. And on that note, we're going to experience everything, good and bad, and that's normal, okay? The thing is, when we overindulge in certain things, which also means we are neglecting other parts that we're supposed to be experiencing, okay? Because when you are overindulgent in one specific area, no matter what it is, TV, food, whatever, okay? It don't have to be as serious as people think, but it could be anything like that. We're taking away from other things that are for that we should be doing. It's like finding the balance. Like work hard, play hard. It could be like referenced in a lot of different ways. You have to put it in your own personal situation. But the devil is also a representation of the invisible string. It's part of our mind, okay? It's the invisible string that we feel we're attached to something, which causes us to be overindulgent, obsessive, toxic. But it's actually all in our mind. I'm not downplaying addictions and stuff like that. Now, at the beginning, you feel attached to it. Now, later down the road, it can become what we call a disease, okay? And it could become way further than that, okay? But I'm talking about the initial beginning, okay? We feel attached to something. We can't stop doing it, or we can't stop eating chocolate when we know our doctor said not to let us have chocolate or something like that, okay? And it's like, it's fine if you have a little bit of chocolate, even if you're, you know, even someone that's not supposed to have it, if they have a very small amount and then they, drink water and eat fruits and vegetables all the rest of the week, it's not going to affect them as much as it would as if you're just only eating the things that are bad for you, okay? So there's something here that it's hard to explain, but it's like it could be a relationship. You feel tied to someone, you feel stuck to them. It's an invisible string, it's in your mind, okay, that you can't let go, like you just fear letting go, or that what you feel is attached, or like you feel under, like you feel like, oh, you know someone could, I'm getting a whole lot of messages. I feel like this is a broad um, spectrum here, okay. It's like you neglect someone that you know is your person because you've always been told, um, like, oh, you can never get someone like that, or the biggest thing a narcissist will say is, no one will love you like I do. You'll see no one will love you and stuff like that. They put these things in your head. It's not true. Um, Also with, you know, or you feel attached to someone, like you can't leave them. You've been with them for however long, and if you leave, they may not have no one to get money from, or they don't have a job, and if you leave, they'll be on the street, or they won't have anywhere to go. But this person is not good for you. You're not good together, and sometimes you can't just agree to disagree, and it's an easy agreement to, okay, I'll help you out with, try to figure things out. it, it's not always as easy as it sounds, but also you get used to something, an addiction, a drug, weed, alcohol, food, comfort food, a person, a best friend. You get attached, and it's not bad to get attached to something, but it's like when you know it's not good for you anymore, but it's like you have the knowledge that what you're doing is not good for you, but you feel like you can't let go. It's that invisible string that it manipulates your mind into thinking that, oh, well, I'm addicted to it, so like I can't just quit like that. But it's like the person never even tried or attempted, and it's that they just really don't want to. And that's okay, because we all learn on our own time, and that's fine. But the devil card depicts this invisible tie to something that is not good for us, and we know it, but yet we feel like we're chained to it. um, but it's not true. um, there's there's no one, there's nothing chaining us to the situation. We feel like we can't leave. We feel like we won't make it without him, or won't make it without it, or whatever it is. But in reality, we're scared to be alone, scared to be, thinking that maybe we won't find anyone else, or, you know, what if you become, it's like almost like a dependence, yeah. Like you become dependent on it, like a drug. You're used to, every night, instead of dealing with your heartbreak of your ex, you smoke before you go to sleep. Because at night, You get sad about an old breakup or something, okay? And it's like you become dependent on that way of dealing with something. So that kind of puts a little band-aid on it, but it doesn't heal it. And those things become toxic because then we start doing it every day, and then it's like when we don't have something that we're used to having every day, you know, we start kind of panicking because it's like something's changing. What's going on, you know? And it's really it's that devil mindset that makes you think that you don't have the strength enough to go without it. But we all have that strength within us. But do we believe in it? Do we believe in ourselves? Having doubt that we're not strong enough, or just not wanting to change, being stuck in, you know, we're dependent on that string, you know, and we don't want to let go. We're afraid of what may happen if we do, or if we let go of this person, will somebody, will we have someone else? Or like, I can't go without you. It's like this weird thing that it's like, you know, really it is devilish. It's part of the mindset that a lot of times we grew up with learning, you know, like this is just how it is in our family. You know, everyone in our family does this job. This is what you have to do. No one in our family ever got married and stuff like that. So then you're like stuck with this person that you don't even get along with. But it's like everyone in my family never divorces, you know, so then you feel stuck. You know, a lot of it is really all of it combined. Our own mindset, our environment, you know, the way the world might see us, our peers, family members, the way we were raised, what we were taught. Also, you know, like I said, our environmental factors, the way things are, you know, everyone has a different environment, and a lot of, you know, some people are in survival mode, and that's how they have to live, or that's their situation. I was in survival mode for a long time, still feel like I am sometimes, uh, and that's a tough mindset because all it did was hold me back more. And I just saw 1919 on the clock. But survival mode is when you're always on guard, you're always, you know, trying to make it through the next day. And that's all you're focused on is, I just need to get through today. I just need to get through today. I just need to make sure I eat today, drink today, whatever. And then the next day it's the same thing. I just need this today, you know, survival mode. But you don't really go that far in survival mode. You feel like you are because you're like, phew, I made it through the day. I survived. I made it. We ate. It's all good. And it works out for that moment. But in the long term, survival mode doesn't really work. But a lot of us are in survival mode because we have been through a lot. We've lost a lot. We've had to start over. And when we feel threatened that something is going to change again, we try to stop it because we're tired of starting over. We're tired of starting from scratch. So when we do have something, it's hard to let it go because we worked so hard to get it. And that's totally understandable. But there's something here about needing to let go of maybe a mindset, a way of thinking that you're not strong enough on your own, or you have to be like everyone else, or they made, or the mindset of, family approving of what you want to do in your life, and all that. Or what would your friends say? Well, I'm gonna break it down to you. Half the friends you have now are they're gonna have their own lives and families and children and grandkids, and they're gonna be doing their own thing. You may have one or two that end up being lifelong, but it's rare. Most people, they may stay in contact, phone calls. You run into them, you see them, if you stay in the same areas and stuff. But everyone becomes busy with their own families, and then their children, and then their and then it's like, if my kid's on your kid's football team too, and then we see each other on practice, and you know, that's your associates. You may have one or two really lifelong friends, but their opinion doesn't matter. It really doesn't. Your family, now it's good to get other people's opinion, yes, but to base all your decisions on other people's opinions is not, you're never going to be happy. One, you're the only one that knows what's best for you. You're the only one that knows how your heart feels. You're the only one that knows, what makes you happy, what goals you have. Everyone's goals are different. Everyone, has different plans for the future, and not everyone's going to have the same dream. So not everyone is going to, you could have a dream and they're like, what? Like, that's impossible, blah, 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 whatever. Even telling people your dreams and goals, it kind of puts a damper on it. I would just keep it to yourself, because a lot of people will put that type of energy into it, and it puts, negative energy on it. So you really have a special goal in mind. I would, just stay focused on it, and, I wouldn't say all the details, or really talk about it much to people, because they'll say negative things towards it, and even if they don't mean that bad, like they don't mean to, they'll just, and it starts making you think more negative of it also, and it doesn't help this situation. I'm getting here that, you know it, I just heard family ties, so it could be like, I forget what it's called, when like the family marries you, they choose your husband. It's like doing things that you feel tied to, but doesn't make you happy. And even family members, you know, people grow up, and, you may see them on holidays and stuff, but, you know, they're gonna have their husband or wife and children, and people are gonna, you know, spread out a little bit. That don't mean they don't care about you or nothing, but they're gonna be living their own lives. And when that happens, they told you how to live your life, and then you do the life that they chose for you, that they said is, you know, this is what you're supposed to do. And then like you're sitting there doing it and you're like, hello, where y'all at? Oh, they're over doing their own lives, so it doesn't matter. They're not even going to be worried about it. Like, they're going to be having their own lives to deal with, and their opinion doesn't even matter. Like, honestly, they got their own crap to take care of, and really they were just meddling around in yours because they didn't have nothing to do that day. Who knows? But I mean, you take their opinion, yes, like grandparents' opinions and stuff like that. You take their wisdom, and then you go with your own, and then you kind of merge it, and then you know, you think logically and also from your heart. You know, this is where my heart is leading me. These are the pros and cons logically, and then you make a choice, or whatever choice is up to you, which overall you feel is going to make you happy. Uh, what's going to benefit your long-term goals? What's going to put you on the path towards your long-term goals, or you know, the kind of life you see yourself having. You know, when you imagine yourself 5 years from now, where do you see yourself? You know, will you have kids? Do you want to focus on a career? And things like that, you know. Only you can decide that. Because even if they mean well, they're going to say what they feel will make you happy from their own view. But they don't know you, what actually will make you happy, or how you feel inside, or they're not you. So they can never actually make that decision, even meaning well, you know. They will actually never know the real answer. Only you can figure that out on your own yourself, honestly. But I don't know why I was called to talk about that stuff, but I hope that helped someone. And yeah, I'm going to let this ride out, and I'm going to do a new video for the tarot reading. Alright, I really hope this helped. I love you. Bye.